Hey guys, and welcome back to War Thunder. In today's video, I want to talk about the recent drastic changes that have been coming out in the game and just why have they been coming out in the first place? What does this mean to us as players? And also, what has the community been thinking and saying about them? What has been the reaction so far? So firstly, I don't know what Gaijin's intentions by all of these changes are. Usually in major updates we'll get, new planes or something like that. But in the latest mini updates, mini patches, we've had fundamental core aspects of the game changing. The reasons why we actually love this game. For example, it first started off with mixed nations in RB, where Gaijin's intentions were to try and reduce queue times of RB in off-peak hours. Then you would get mixed matches. Now, I'm all for having faster queue times. Unfortunately, at the cost of breaking the game and essentially the meta, absolutely not. Because what we come to expect in RB is that we have a nation against a particular nation, and then we expect or anticipate what planes we're likely to come against, and so we can build our advantage over those other planes. However, in a mixed nation RB, we get into an uncomfortable position where essentially the meta that we're used to is broken, and we're all of a sudden being put up against possibly the same plane that we are using. So from this meta to be changing from game to game, essentially you could go from mixed nation RB to just a normal RB match. The meta is just completely different and does not adhere to what we're used to and what should really be accepted of RB. Now the thing is, a lot of people have complained about it, but Gaijin has done nothing about this. Perhaps you could say that the snail logo that they use is kind of fitting, considering just the lack of response and just how slow they are to try to revert things. Of course, that depends what you're talking about. Then there was the mouse aim tweak, something that they introduced, their intention being to make controls smoother. And apparently it was fine in RB, but in arcade battles it was absolutely atrocious. It was bad. It was not smoother, in fact it was the exact opposite. It was rigid. It was very hard to kill people, and the AB community got very up in arms about this. There's a lot of pro players, a lot of normal players, whatever, saying that they're going to quit the game because of what this was doing. It was just not right. And even myself, I stopped playing the game until they reverted the change, and I'm so glad that they did revert it. And I have a feeling that Gaijin probably did that because they've seen so many of these threats, and possibly the player number was actually reduced. So luckily they did change that, but again, it makes you wonder, why did they even introduce this in the first place? Now, even more recently, there are two other points. AB maps in RB, and also the removal of ground forces sim battles and just reduced to a preset. Firstly, AB maps in RB. This is a really silly thing to happen. I'm all for getting fast-paced action. The thing is, with these AB maps in RB, it's kind of reminiscent of Guardian Angel, where you're getting into a match straight away, killing stuff straight away. However, the maps are completely imbalanced, and the mode is completely imbalanced. Let's start with the actual spawns. You spawn at the same level as your enemy. So if you're in a BF-109 and you try to build up an altitude advantage, because you're supposed to boom and zoom, that can be really hard to do. You have to kind of go off to the side and hope some of your teammates might sacrifice themselves so that you'll have that altitude advantage. So the meta is broken already. Also, airfields are really close to each other. The spawns are very close to each other. So if you try to go land on an airfield, then chances are you'll probably get shot down very, very quickly. Having an opportunity to land on an airfield is very hard to do, let alone on some AB maps themselves. Just the general geography of the map makes it indeed difficult to land on an airfield, such as African Canyon. Another really big oversight, and this is a huge oversight, is the fact that in these AB maps, it seems like you're rewarded with AB rewards. Yes, that means, for example, in this match I got 5 kills and I got about 40,000 lions out of that. That's nothing. That's nothing for an RB match. Consider also the fact that a lot of planes, if they get shot down, you have to pay RB costs as well. So in fact, you might even be losing lions. Now, I don't know why this is actually come out? Why did Gaijin do this? Why did they not test this properly? It brings that question up. Why was this not tested properly? Why was it brought out in the first place? Well, they said that it was the player's choice. They put out a poll that people could vote on, and the question was, would you guys like to see ground attack maps within the game? And I think people were a bit misled. They thought ground attack sounds like something different. In fact, what they did was introduce ground strike with no editations at all. It just really makes you wonder, why was this not tested out properly? It literally breaks RB. I'm all for Guardian Angel-like sort of events or matches where you're up in the air straight away, but given the fact that everything is so close to each other, you can't even build up your plane's strengths or whatever like that, and the rewards, it really just makes you wonder, why was this not tested out in the first place? Who is letting this get by? Is there not some sort of quality control within the company itself? And then there was a removal of Ground Forces sim battles, which is pretty much now just a preset event. What Gaijin is doing is effectively killing off a portion of their player base by telling them, yes, you guys can play sim battles, Ground Forces, but you have to play with this particular preset. Now the thing is, there are people that come into this game who particularly only want to play tanks in a sim battles environment. RB will not cut it. They want to be locked first person. And now by telling them that they have to play for preset, what if they don't want to play for preset? What if they want to play with different tanks? What's the point of unlocking different tanks if you're being told what you can only play with? I don't know what Gaijin is doing here. Perhaps they're trying to reduce queue times. Perhaps they're trying to kill off the sim battle players and just focus on arcade or realistic battles. I don't know. Maybe they even misinterpreted the results of the combined arms events. Maybe they were like, okay, we've seen people enjoy this so much that now what we're going to do is remove sim battles and we're going to place in preset events, because that's what people really enjoyed in these combined arm events. And fair enough, we did enjoy it, but at the same time, we didn't want this to come to a loss of actually choosing what tanks we want to play with. We want to be able to play with certain tanks. We don't want to play with certain presets. And it does make you wonder, how does Gaijin get away with this stuff? Why do they not test these things? All I can say is, Gaijin, you so silly sometimes.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Now we blasting off into the ozone. The way we kick it in the dojo is local for show, though we paving the road that's opposed to the dodo.